Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome to my Vlogmas December 26th. I can't believe we're almost to the very end of December, guys. And we got through Christmas. We survived. Yay! Are we going to survive to the new year? That is still unknown. Okay, so what have I been doing today? Absolutely nothing. I have a sick child at home and we've just been resting is all we've been really doing. I have been working on curriculum all day long. Been trying to get things together for the daycare for curriculum for all of the month of January. And I got everything printed off here at home. And all I got to do is go into work now, tomorrow, and make copies of everything. I've also did all the curriculum for the whole entire month of January. So I am so happy this is done. And now I can move on to what I really wanted to start getting done is working on the things I need to do me and the new year. So I am going to start working on bettering my YouTube channel for the year 2025 and setting up a routine for single mom life. I am going to be researching and working on starting a blog and what I need to do to make an extra income. And I need to work on a budget. And how in the world am I going to survive 2025? As a Christian, I need to research a day in the life of a single mom year, kind of content that I can do with you guys here on YouTube, and just working on the future moving forward. It's something I really don't want to do, but I do want to have done before the 1st. So yeah, it's been kind of a lazy day around here. We're not doing a whole lot of anything. I haven't had a shower. I haven't done my hair. I haven't worked on my wig. I haven't done anything. I actually haven't done any laundry, cleaning, cooking. I ordered Popeye's chicken for lunch, and then we haven't had dinner. And so I've been working on this curriculum all day long, listening to music and just kind of relaxing. It's been really, really nice. I got still so much I need to do for the weekend. But, you know, it's day after Christmas. It's my day off work, and here I am working. But I'm done. I'm done for January. So I have actually done the whole calendar also for the daycare for the whole year, as far as holidays, national days, and that. So now all I got to do is add in the curriculum, and I'm done with January. So I still have the rest of the month to worry about February, and I'm going to take a break now that January is complete. And I have the curriculum already ready for the daycare for all the teachers and classes. So that's done, and it's such a relief to be done with that. Okay, and then, yeah, you guys, I need to now stop and transition my brain to me and home life for the year and what am I going to do. First thing I want to do is I need some inspiration. So I am going to look up some inspiration for single mom yearly to do motivation. Let's see what I can do here. Encouragement and hope for single mom. Let's see if I can do Christian single mom, because I want to definitely add God into my vlogs more as I am a Christian. And What does God say about single moms? So let's put this. Whether you've been a single mom for a long time recently, had your baby, or you're expecting, know that God deeply loves you and he loves your baby and your children. And you and your children are made in his image. Genesis 1:27. Never doubt your worth. And never let the hateful words and actions of others get you down. You don't just get divorced under happiness. So if you are divorced and you're a single mom, don't let the actions of your other spouse to affect you in any kind of way. And, God still loves you, and he loves those families, especially those who are in broken families. So it says here to get involved in how should moms raise godly men, especially if they're on their own. We're going to be talking about that in 2025. And then mom goals, we're going to be talking about that going into the new year. And I'll be reading some more of that. 3 biblical truths for single moms. Let's see what that says. Let's face it, we're living in a time where there are some men who don't man up, and they don't take the responsibility to raise their children in a godly way. Divorce rates are higher than ever before, and unfortunately, widows who have been left behind with family to raise on their own. Despite of all this, guess what? God is noticing. He notices you. If you're a single mom, don't think for one moment that God has forgotten you. In fact, it's just the opposite. This is one thing that divorce care has really taught me. God has so much love and compassion for you if you're a single mom and you've been abandoned by your spouse. Through Jesus Christ, he has given you everything you need to raise your family with nothing missing and nothing lacking. It says, as a young single mom, I had no idea what I was doing, how I was going to raise my son, pay my bills, including childcare, on my little salary. During that time, I was living a lukewarm Christian life, but I was desperately seeking God for his help. That's when I come to know the 3 biblical truths that was going to help me as a single mother. I learned to seek God for his wisdom, the importance of balanced schedule, and to rely on his provision, not my own. God's wisdom. Being a single mom requires a lot of wisdom. I found myself seeking God for when to say no to the good for the sake of the better, when to slow down, and when to take care of myself. Many times I had to make decisions on the fly, and that pressure of making those decisions by myself weighed me down. That's when James 1:5 became my life scripture during those years, because daily I was asking God for guidance, whether or not to take a promotion at work, whether or not to date. The truth was, I was really afraid of making another mistake. Oh, I get that. Oh my gosh. I don't want to fall for those lies again, for sure. I was really afraid of making that another mistake like I had before. And every night I cried myself to sleep, asking God to help me. If any of you is deficient in wisdom, let him ask of the giving God, who gives to everyone liberally and ungrudgingly, without reproaching or fault finding, and it will be given unto him. James 1:5. A balanced work schedule. Since I worked full-time, I remember the guilt I felt every day dropping my son off at daycare for almost 12 hours. And when we were together at night, I had to learn to make whatever little time I had with my child quality time. The reality was that was all I was capable of doing. Seriously, I lived paycheck to paycheck and had very little left over for entertainment. I had to get creative with our activities to make sure our quality time was fun and memorable. As a single mom, I do know that there are a lot of free things available. You're just going to have to research and find out what's in your local area. Do as many free things as you can. I've been single before, so I know what it takes. Do what you can with your food stamps. Do what you can with the things that you have, the support that you have in your community. The food stamps in my community, you can go to a farmer's market. You can get discounts and you can get money back on your food stamps for purchasing at food stamps. Half my Christmas came from food stamps. Anything that is cold food, not hot food, but cold food, you can get on food stamps, and it helps make things fun. You can have a picnic in a park for free, using your food stamps. So you can do things for free. In the summertime, they'll have movies at the park, and you can take your own food, or fireworks at the park, and you can take your own food, have a picnic, and go to the beach for really, really cheap, per car prices most of the time, and take your own food. So there's a lot of things you can do as a single mom on a budget. It says, to this day, my son often asks me, Mom, do you remember when it was just me and you? We could go to the movies and get juicy chicken. Mind you, the movies was the older theater we used to go to, where movies were only $1 because they were movies that came out a long, long time ago. He is now 27, and the fact that the little things that I did is what he remembers the most. Means that I succeeded at creating memories with little what I had, and I did that by balancing my schedule and priority, my time with him when I wasn't working. And I can tell you, I have an older son who's 22, and he feels the same thing. It's the quality time I spent with him as a single parent that he remembers. It's the traditions. It's the love and the respect. And those are the things that matter the most to the children. It's not how much money you spend or the vacations that you go on that spend a lot of money. It's just the fact that you're trying and you're working hard, and they can see that. Quality time with your children will always trump quality time when done right. I know plenty of families who are together all the time. However, they're distracted by work, electronics, their own busyness, other relationships, that they don't spend the time with each other because they're too busy with themselves. I know that my children have had to deal with that. The ex doesn't seem to care too much about the other relationship and how that affects the children. They don't care. They don't listen. And it's been very evident in my children's lives. Living a life within the priorities of God is not just for couples. It's a lifestyle for all, us married or single. When we purpose to live within the priorities of God, it will lead us to life with no regrets, even as a single parent. I can tell you that. I have no regrets, and it's because of my faith. Just because you're single doesn't mean your primary focus has to be work. Your first ministry begins at home. That is so true. That's what God has intended in marriages. Your first ministry is your spouse and your children, and seeking God first as the leader of your home. So whether you're married or single, that's the way it should be. God is the leader. God will see to it that we have everything we need. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but just wait is his delight. Proverbs 11:1. Wow. So if you're out of order, if you're divorced and you are out of order in your relationship with God, it is to be God, husband, wife, children, church. So all of those things have to be in that order. And when that spouse files for divorce and you are out of order and you are now being father and mother, if you are out of order with your life and you don't have God above yourself, then as a single parent, it's an abomination to the Lord. Wow. When you're going through a divorce, if you don't realize that, that other person has committed an abomination to the Lord by that division and that being out of order in your family. That's craziness that the Lord actually says that in his word. Proverbs 11:1. God's provision. Being a single parent often means living on one income. I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was wondering, how was I going to provide for my son? That's what I'm thinking right now. How are we going to do this? 2025. I'm going to be putting a lot of hope and trust into my Savior, Jesus Christ. Being in that position motivated me to not just pray for God's provision. I wanted his wisdom, directing me to the right information or resources that would help me to manage what I had, as this would be far better use of my time instead of focusing on what I didn't have. When thinking about relying on God for finances as a single mother, I often think of the story in the Bible about a widow and Elijah, 1 Kings 17:7 through 24. I think about how Elijah saw her at the well and asked her to make him a cake. She said all that she had was enough for her and her son. However, she did it in ways, and God made sure that she had enough. It was hard for me to trust God with my finances when I was already feeling like I barely made enough. Did I really tithe 10%? No. I did what I could until I grew enough in my faith and learned how to manage my finances to the point where I was able to tithe. Since I worked at the bank, I realized I needed to learn everything I could and actually applied it to my life. Have you ever met a manicurist whose nails looked horrible? Or what about a hairdresser whose hair was a hot mess? Well, I didn't want to work at the bank and have no financial knowledge, so that's when everything changed for me. I learned how to balance my checkbook, start a savings account, even if it was a small amount. Over time, I learned the importance of credit, how to build it, and actually bought a home. To be honest, it wasn't easy. It was very difficult because I started out with the wrong attitude. I was thinking, what's the point in learning how to manage money when I don't have any money? And that is when Luke 16:10 became real to me. If you are faithful in little things, you will be faithful in large ones. But if you are dishonest in little things, you won't be honest with greater responsibilities. Luke 16:10. As I started to make little changes, my faith grew. As a result, I started to get on the very little I had. Before I knew it, my son and I were living very comfortable on one income. In the end, being a single mom is hard when you're trying to meet the emotional, spiritual, and physical needs of your children. All the while, you're trying to meet those same needs for yourself. However, if you don't have to do it on your own, my best advice is cling on to God and seek his wisdom, a balanced schedule, and his provision. As difficult as it may be, there is nothing too difficult for our God. He will give you everything you need so that you will have nothing missing and nothing lacking. This sounds like this is a great words of advice, and this is from Timberly Gray, livingourpriorities.com, 3 biblical truths for single mothers. I just came across that article, and I just thought that was pretty good. And that's what I want to do for 2025, as I am really planning on doing the things I can do, is just working, and it's going to be a struggle. I already know it's going to be a struggle. I know there's a lot of resources out there and motivation to get me started, and I love that I have the freedom as a single mom to make these decisions on my own, to work hard, do what's right, follow God, get into his word, worship him, give him thanks for everything I have. I get to make those decisions to, take care of my home and my children and do what I can with what I've got. And as I look over this last year, God has really blessed me beyond belief, and I can't wait to see what 2025 is going to bring. I mean, it's going to bring some major changes for everybody, I have a feeling. So everybody needs to buckle up, get ready. Don't worry about those who are against you. Don't worry about those who are lying and cheating and taking away or not being committed to their vows. Don't worry about those people who are exercising the fact that they are not Christians. We need to continue to be a witness to those. And we need to be able to do it on our own. If we are divorced, that's one thing that they really, really taught in divorce care, was to buckle up your britches, you know, and to figure it out, because God's with us if we choose to have him in our lives. And he has promised he will never, ever leave you or forsake you. And he will give you the desires of your heart. So, with that said, I'm going to end for today's video. I had to run there for a moment and go pick up my son and take him back to his house. And I am back home now, and I'm going to get ready for bed. It's been a long day of just relaxing, and it's 9:14. But I am going to upload this video for today. It's not much of a video, but I did want to get on here and just check in with you guys. Let you know that I am going to be preparing for the future of being a single mom. And this year is going to be a lot of planning with a lot of changes. And so as I am going to be getting through this weekend, we are going to still continue on celebrating our Christmas. I am going to continue to bring you with whatever I do for the day. It may be like today's video, not very exciting, as we are winding down 2024. But with that said, 2025 is around the corner next week, and I'm going to do a lot of prepping before then. And so I just hope and pray that you guys have a blessed day tomorrow. I have to go back to work for just a couple hours. A lot of people are back to work, and I do plan on getting some more planning done tonight and tomorrow. But I just want to thank you all for your love and support in 2024. It's been so good. And I'm going to be right here with you guys, Christian single mom, and bringing to you daily vlogs as much as I can. I'm not going to have any rhyme or reason to what I post for 2025, but we're going to talk about all kinds of things. So thank you for your subscriptions, and I'll see you in tomorrow's vlog. Bye.